if we're looking at a brand new platform from scratch, or we're looking at moving a platform, the number one question that needs to be asked is, what are the members' jobs to be done inside of that community? Or the jobs to be done framework is essentially saying, like, what are people trying to accomplish? What are they hiring your community to do? And so not what the company wants the community to accomplish, but are they actually going to log into your community and do in there? Is it about showing up to troubleshoot a problem at 11 o'clock at night? Is that where people are going to be using your community? Is it going to be about long-term professional networking? Is it going to be about educational content and training people on your platform? So what is important is understanding, what are people hiring your community to do? And then once that is clear, then we can look at, okay, what is our organization hoping to achieve from this? Once those two things are clear, the number of options significantly reduces. So like, if you're focused on product feedback, the platforms that you might look at are going to be different than if you're focused on support-driven community, or like a more of a retention play. So that's going to reduce your options significantly. And then as Brian mentioned, like, budget is a really important question. I typically will ask it after asking these other questions, because we don't want to come in setting the budget kind of at some benchmark and then having that be the determiner. But it is important, if your budget is $5,000 a year versus $500,000 a year, we can work with very different vendors, and even customization and developers and things like that. So the final thing that's really important to ask, that I don't think enough people ask, is, what is the comfort of my team in using these platforms? And is there someone on the team, or multiple people on the team, who are going to be comfortable in this platform every single day? Are they going to be happy when they have to go set an event up? Is it going to be a huge pain for them? Are they going to be able to find what they need when they're in the platform, or navigate the analytics? So that is really, really an important consideration, because if your team is not willing to really get in there and learn it and continue to evolve it, then it's just going to be this clunky piece of software that you just bought and then it never got really used. So I think those are the most important things: is members' needs, business needs, budget, and then the team that's going to be in place.
So here's some practical, I guess, advice for folks. This is why it's so important to document what your actual needs are, and rank them in priority and severity, and like however you want to think about it, and basically run the process to the scorecards, right? And understanding which one of these things is actually fulfilling our needs versus not, versus someone's vibes or someone's opinions, or like, frankly, like, well, I play golf with some dude over at wherever on Saturdays, so we have to buy their platform. Like, and you all laugh and go, oh, that's such a funny thing from Brian. And it's like, yeah, that's actually how stuff gets selected sometimes. So the way to fight against that is to make it very unemotional and, kind of boring in an IT way of like, we're going to document our actual needs here, and we're going to do a checkbox like thing. So that's that side of it. I think the other thing, just to add on, in addition to what Carrie's already said, is that the advice I always give people, and I'll give it to you here, is there's the feature functionality and the price, right, are super important. There's also just the success side of it. And what I mean by that is, what kind of support does this company have in customer support, but also, what kind of expertise are they bringing to the table? Do they have good services, both technical or, maybe they have consulting services, professional services? When you set up demos or calls with them, who comes to the calls? Is it like the most junior SE, or is it, hey, here's an executive, one of our executives who's your stakeholder? And so, what I try to do is, like, if we're going to pick 2 or 3 vendors, which is usually how it works, and we're like, okay, let's talk to 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever it is based on your strategy, try to do everything, as same and even at the same time as possible, so that the client can, whoever's doing the selection can feel the difference of like, all right, how quickly did they get back? What was their, kind of urgency? Who did they bring to the meeting? How do they describe the success, that their clients have had? Can I talk to some of those clients? Do they make that a hard thing or an easy thing? That might be they make that hard, or they can't, I'm not going to name names, but there's like several vendors where if you're like, hey, can you give me an example of 5 other communities that are like ours that are on your platform? You're never going to get a list of 5, and that's a pretty good signifier that, oops, like maybe that one's not going to be the best for us if there's literally no one else like us on it. Not always, but could be. So I think digging a little bit deeper beyond the, do they have forums? Do they have events? Kind of like modality, like, yeah, they have badges, like, great. What is the company like? What's their structure? Does it seem like a long-term thing? We're experiencing that now with consolidation and like other things in the market. You want to make sure that if you're going to sign a 2-year or a 3-year deal, which is really common, with these types of, like, at the enterprise level, that they're going to be around and they're going to be able to service you and all that kind of stuff. So lots of different things that go into it, but make it as unemotional, and kind of boring as possible, I think is good advice.